Did you know that leaders who show empathy are 60% more likely to have highly engaged teams? Or that employees who feel their leaders truly care are 87% more likely to stay with the company? These aren't just numbers, they're proof that empathy is a game changer in leadership. But here's the shocking part. Despite these numbers, many leaders still overlook the power of empathy. They focus on strategy, productivity, and profits, but often forget that understanding and connecting with people can have a bigger impact than any business plan. In this video, we're diving deep into why empathy is the hidden key to powerful leadership. From boosting trust and creativity to making smarter decisions under pressure, empathy shapes how leaders inspire, motivate, and guide their teams. We'll explore how you can turn empathy into action and create a culture where people feel valued and heard. Trust me, once you understand the true power of empathy, your leadership game will never be the same. Stick around and discover how leaders with heart truly lead better. Chapter 1. The Empathy Advantage. Why leaders with heart lead better. Empathy is one of the most powerful, yet underappreciated, traits in leadership. In fact, studies show that empathetic leaders are more likely to inspire trust and commitment from their teams. According to a 2018 report by the Center for Creative Leadership, 83% of leaders who demonstrated empathy saw a significant improvement in team performance. It's simple. When leaders care about their people care about the work. Empathy is not just about understanding feelings, it's about connecting on a deeper level. Leaders who can put themselves in others' shoes can anticipate challenges before they arise, giving them an edge in decision-making. Empathy helps you build an environment where employees feel valued. A Harvard Business Review study found that employees who felt their leaders genuinely cared were 60% more likely to stay with the company. The difference between a leader who knows how to listen and one who doesn't is huge. Good leaders listen with intention and respond thoughtfully. This creates an atmosphere of psychological safety, where team members feel comfortable sharing ideas without fear of judgment. Leaders who practice empathy also inspire innovation. According to Forbes, companies with empathetic leadership are 2.5 times more likely to foster a creative, collaborative culture. When employees feel heard and understood, they're more likely to take risks and contribute to problem solving. That's the power of empathy. It fosters an environment where people feel they can grow. Empathy doesn't mean always agreeing with others, it's about understanding their perspective. Think about how great leaders handle disagreements. They don't shut people down but encourage open discussion. When you demonstrate that you value your team's input, you encourage better collaboration. That collaboration leads to better results, and in the long run, higher profits. Chapter 2. Beyond sympathy. Transforming empathy into action. It's easy to feel sympathy for others, but empathy takes it a step further. Sympathy often stops at feeling bad for someone, while empathy motivates you to take action. Leaders who practice empathetic action help solve problems rather than just acknowledge them. A great example is how empathetic leaders handle employee burnout. Instead of just sympathizing, they actively change workloads or provide resources to prevent it. In her book Dare to Lead, Brené Brown explains that empathy is a practice, not a feeling. She writes, "Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice." Leaders must actively engage with their teams, offering support where needed. They need to ask the right questions, listen carefully, and find solutions together. For example, if a team is facing a tough deadline, an empathetic leader might adjust the timeline or offer extra resources, rather than simply pushing their team harder. This shows that they care about the well-being of the team members, not just the outcome of the task. It's also important for leaders to be proactive in addressing emotional needs. Empathy in leadership goes beyond reacting to problems. It's about recognizing potential issues before they grow. Regular check-ins, one-on-one meetings, and anonymous surveys can help leaders stay ahead of problems and address them early on. Chapter 3. The Silent Influence. How empathy builds trust without words. Empathy builds trust in ways that words cannot. Research by the University of California, Berkeley, found that nonverbal empathy, like body language and tone of voice, plays a crucial role in developing trust. Leaders who practice active listening, maintain eye contact, and show genuine interest in what others are saying can build rapport without uttering a single word. Trust is the foundation of any strong team. In fact, teams with high trust are 12 times more likely to collaborate successfully. Empathy helps leaders to create that trust naturally. When you show people you understand their struggles, they feel more comfortable sharing their own challenges, which opens up the lines of communication. There's a fascinating study from Stanford that shows leaders who actively demonstrate empathy have a more positive impact on their team's morale. They discovered that teams with empathetic leaders report 60% higher levels of satisfaction. This increases employee engagement and decreases turnover. Leaders also know how to use empathy when navigating sensitive situations. When delivering constructive feedback, empathetic leaders are careful with their approach. They use positive body language and tone, which helps soften the message, making employees more receptive. Empathy-driven trust leads to an environment where people are motivated to give their best. It allows leaders to guide teams through tough times, knowing that the bonds of trust can carry everyone forward, even in the most difficult circumstances. Chapter 4. Empathy and Decision-Making. Leading with emotional intelligence. One of the most critical aspects of empathy is its role in decision-making. Empathy allows leaders to consider not just the data, but the human impact of their choices. Research from TalentSmart shows that leaders with high emotional intelligence, which includes empathy, make better decisions 90% of the time. Emotionally intelligent leaders are able to gauge how their decisions will affect the mood, performance, and well-being of their team. For example, when deciding whether to push for a new project, an empathetic leader might ask, "How will this affect my team's workload?" instead of just focusing on the financials. This balanced approach ensures that decisions benefit both the company and the employees. Empathy can also help a leader navigate difficult choices with grace. When faced with layoffs or budget cuts, an empathetic leader will take extra care in how they communicate the decision. They'll be transparent, compassionate, and show understanding of how these decisions impact the team. It's not just about making decisions that benefit the company. Empathy drives leaders to make decisions that are fair and just. This approach leads to higher respect from the team, which increases motivation and trust. Empathy enhances leadership decision-making because it involves seeing things from multiple perspectives. Leaders who understand the needs and feelings of their team members can make choices that lead to better outcomes for everyone. Chapter 5. Empathy under pressure. Leading with compassion in crisis. When the pressure is on, empathy is often the last thing on a leader's mind. But it's during crises that empathy becomes most crucial. In a study by the American Management Association, 85% of employees stated that they felt more supported during difficult times by leaders who showed compassion. Whether the company is going through a financial setback or facing a public relations nightmare, empathetic leaders stand out. They manage to balance the immediate pressures of the situation while still addressing the emotional needs of their teams. A leader's ability to remain calm and compassionate in these situations builds respect and loyalty. In Leaders Eat Last, Simon Sinek writes about how great leaders create a circle of safety for their teams. When a crisis occurs, they protect their people, making sure they feel secure despite the chaos around them. This can mean offering reassurance, extra resources, or simply a listening ear. The goal is to reduce anxiety and make sure everyone feels like they're in this together. When leaders show empathy in times of stress, they inspire resilience in their teams. Employees are more likely to keep going through tough times when they feel supported by a leader who genuinely cares about their well-being. This fosters a sense of unity, turning adversity into an opportunity for growth. Chapter 6. Empathy as a Legacy. How leaders shape future generations. Leadership is about more than just what happens in the present. The best leaders are those who leave a lasting legacy. Empathetic leaders shape the future by creating a culture of care, trust, and respect. This approach doesn't just impact the current team, it influences the next generation of leaders. Empathetic leadership creates a ripple effect. When employees see their leaders acting with empathy, they're more likely to carry that behavior into their own leadership style. A 2019 survey by the Center for Creative Leadership found that 73% of emerging leaders reported being inspired to be more compassionate by the empathy shown by their mentors. The impact of empathy doesn't just stop at individual employees. It can reshape entire organizational cultures. Leaders who encourage empathy can help cultivate inclusive, diverse, and emotionally intelligent workplaces. These cultures become more adaptable, innovative, and effective over time. By fostering an environment where empathy thrives, leaders set the stage for future generations to carry on the legacy. The more we lead with compassion, the more likely we are to build a future where empathy is not a rare trait but a core leadership principle. This is the long-term power of empathy, to create a cycle of leadership that keeps getting better, generation after generation. If you're finding these insights helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more tips on leadership and personal development. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on all the ways empathy can transform your leadership style and impact your career.